Sustainability is at the heart of life at Bournemouth University. It's part of our values, who we are, how we behave, what we teach. But a sustainable future is also part of our vision.
Our vision talks about enriching the world, and you can't do that unless you have a very sustainable methodology and approach. But it's also embedded across everything we do in our strategy. So right from the buildings that we're creating, the spaces we're creating, right the way through to the academic learning within our staff and student community. We are thinking about how we can construct the entire academic portfolio and activity of the university around 5 themes, and those themes are themselves based on those 17 UN goals.
The United Nations 17 Goals to Transform Our World sets out the Sustainable Development Agenda on a global level. But for one member of Bournemouth University's Media Production Department, the principle of building a better world started far closer to home.
The Media Production Department at Bournemouth University is a large department. It's within the Faculty of Media and Communication. The faculty itself is one of the largest media faculties in Europe, and an awful lot of productions come through the faculty. So we've got over 2,000 shoots happening every year within the faculty, so there's a lot of output happening. So therefore there's a lot of scope for sustainable practice to be implemented. The specific UN goal that chimed with me was number 12, which is about responsible consumption and production, and also number 13, which is about climate change. The reason that goal chimed with me is because filmmaking is quite a wasteful practice. We travel to locations and on big commercial shoots, sets are made and then they're thrown away. Large productions are, like a travelling circus, so there's a lot of room for putting sustainable practice in. For students who are working on smaller productions, we wanted them to understand the principles before they entered the industry.
Through a series of lectures and workshops, Bournemouth University's media production students were asked to consider how they could incorporate sustainable practice into their own filming.
I found out about it through a few seminars and a few lectures, and it was a very big part of our assessment as well. So I thought that instead of neglecting it, to really go heads on with it, and I tried to make it work through a series of activities, really, as I called it on set, trying to reduce as much plastic as possible, reuse plastic plates, double-sided scripts. All of this was given as advice to the crew through a green memo. The green memo is one of the most important things because it outlines exactly what we want to do as a crew in order to promote this sustainable practice. So I found out about the carbon calculator through a lecture where we had a person called Jeremy come in.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Mathieu, that's M-A-T-H-I-E-U, and I'm the international manager for BAFTA Albert. So first of all, what is Albert? It's the whole sort of TV industry in the UK coming together, major broadcasters and production companies coming together to decide they're going to collaborate, work together to tackle the challenge of sustainability and what it means for the industry. We have a carbon calculator that's tailored for the production industry. It works online, so it's quite a unique tool that we have. Film schools who have been approaching us to find out what they can do to bring some of the Albert's ethos and tools and knowledge into their curriculum. Bournemouth has been a leader on the higher education project by, first of all, Annie East coming to one of the carbon literacy training, finding out what it was all about and exploring the possibilities of bringing this material in Bournemouth University.
We're in talks with the Albert guys to see how can we work with this, how can we move forward and make sure that Albert is part of higher education, both from an employability perspective but also from a teaching and learning perspective as well.
Bournemouth University and BAFTA are now collaborating to develop their own version of Albert, the Sustainability for the Screen Art industry tool, tailored to higher education. And by informing our academics, sustainable practice in media education is being integrated into the curriculum.
I first got into sustainable practice in filmmaking through a training session that Annie East had set up with BAFTA Consortium and the Albert Group, and it just inspired me to get involved and share some of that with my students. I think this is important for both students and staff because it's something that affects all of us in terms of the planet, but that also from a student's perspective it's going to increasingly become a key part of their employability. So they need to engage with it here in university in order for them to be ready for the world of work once they leave.
So reflecting back on this project, the way it makes me feel is I feel proud. I feel pleased that I've taken this initiative on. I've worked with my colleagues, and I feel extremely proud to be sending out a whole new generation of filmmakers into the world, and hopefully they will make a difference.
To find out more, go to bournemouth.ac.uk/sustainability.